Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful framework for mastering the one thing that's, well, always with us, our own mind. This is all about shifting from a life of knee-jerk reactions to a life of calm, conscious choice.
So let me just start by asking you a question. Seriously, think about your day so far. How many times did you act on impulse? How often did you feel like you were just, reacting to whatever the world threw at you instead of really choosing how to respond? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, don't worry, you are definitely not alone.
You see, at the heart of this whole challenge is this kind of internal conflict we all have. It's like we have two different operating systems running at the same time, an impulsive mind and a discerning mind. And honestly, understanding the difference between these two, well, that's the key to taking back control. Okay, think about this analogy for a second, because it's a really good one. Imagine a dog seeing its reflection in a mirror. What does it do? It reacts completely instinctively. It barks, it gets ready to fight. But a human looks in that same mirror and has this moment of self-awareness. Oh, that's me. See, our impulsive mind is the dog, just reacting to everything automatically. But our discerning mind, that's the human, the one that's capable of turning its focus inward and actually making a choice.
So the big question is, how do we train that discerning mind, the human in the mirror, to take the lead? Well, that's where this simple, really elegant framework comes into play.
Look, the secret here isn't just about wishing you had more self-control. That never works. It's about having a structured, repeatable process that you can use to actually build it, a framework that gives us the power to choose our response in any given moment. And here it is. It's called the SILENT framework. It's an acronym, a mnemonic, designed to guide you through a practice that can fundamentally change your relationship with your own thoughts. It helps you find that quiet space, that pause, between a stimulus and your response.
All right, so how does this thing actually work, in the real world? Let's break the framework down letter by letter and really see how each step builds on the one before it. Okay, first up, the journey begins with S, and S stands for still. The very first step is just to still that restless mind, to quiet down that constant mental chatter that drives so many of our impulsive actions.
So how do you do that? Well, it's not by fighting your thoughts. It's actually by grounding yourself in your body. It's as simple as becoming aware of your physical posture, your position in the room right now. This simple act brings your mind's focus inward, and it leads to this profound realization. You are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. There's a difference.
Okay, so once you've found that little bit of stillness, that quiet, we move on to I. And I stands for invoke the inner space. This step is all about going a little deeper with our awareness.
Now, this is a really important point. You're not trying to create some new magical space. You're just noticing the space that is always there, that gap between you, the observer, and the thoughts passing by. It's kind of like the silence between the notes. That's what makes the music possible. Next up, we have L, which is for let go of worldly reliance. This is where we start to deal with all of our attachments. So in this context, the world isn't just the stuff happening outside of you, it's also your internal reaction to it. Your anxiety, your anger, your joy, all of it. Letting go means realizing that your true self isn't defined by these fleeting states. The metaphor for this is just beautiful. It's like your mind is a tree, shedding old leaves in the autumn. This practice helps break that deep-seated habit of linking our inner peace to things outside of us that are, totally unstable. So now we get to E, embrace the present moment. Now this might sound like something you've heard before, but its role here is super specific and really important. The present moment, it's not just some nice, fluffy idea. It is the only place that life is actually happening. It's where real, permanent peace is found. Our impulsive mind, though, it loves to live in the past or worry about the future. It gets so confused it even thinks of the present as something that's already gone, like, oh yeah, I had a present moment yesterday. By constantly gently returning to the here and now, we interrupt that pattern, we break the cycle. And that brings us to N, for nurture inner peace. This is where we shift from just observing what's going on to actively cultivating the state we want.
Right. Nurturing is an active verb. It's something you do. Once you become aware of that inner space we talked about, you reinforce it. A super simple way to do this is to mentally drop a mantra into that space. Something like Om Shanti. It means I am peace. And notice the wording there. It's not I feel peaceful. It's a declaration, I am peace. It's a powerful reminder of your true nature underneath all that mental noise.
And finally, we have T, which ties this whole thing together. Because this isn't just a 5-minute meditation practice, it's a way of life.
T stands for teach the impulsive mind.
And this, right here, is the ultimate goal. The silent framework isn't just for when you're sitting on a meditation cushion. No way. It's a tool you use when you're doing the dishes, when you're stuck in traffic, when you're having a difficult conversation. In every single moment, you are gently, patiently training your impulsive mind, teaching it over and over again to choose peace over chaos, to choose awareness over reaction.
Okay, so what's the big idea? The core philosophy that makes this entire framework so powerful? Well, it's a fundamental shift in how you see yourself in relation to your own thoughts.
The whole philosophy is captured in this one incredible metaphor. The sky does not move, even with millions of birds flying around. Just let that sink in for a second. The sky itself is constant. It's still. It doesn't matter what passes through it. This is the core idea right here. You are the sky, that vast, unchanging, aware presence. And your thoughts, your feelings, your urges, they're just the birds flying through. They are temporary events happening within you, but they are not you. Getting this, really understanding the separation, that's the key to freedom.
So how do we take this profound idea and actually turn it into a daily habit? Let's walk through a super simple, actionable ritual you can do every morning.
You can start every single day with this simple 3-step ritual. First, you set a sacred intention. The traditional term is a mangalachara, but just think of it like laying out a welcome mat for peace in your mind. Second, use that Om Shanti mantra to remind yourself of your true nature. I am peace. And third, you reinforce a positive outward focus with a phrase like Sarva Bhavantu Sukhina, which basically just means may all be happy. It sets this calm, kind foundation for your whole day.
And remember, this little morning ritual isn't the end goal in itself. The real aim, the whole point, is to carry this awareness with you, to integrate this state of calm, conscious choice into every single moment of your day.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought. In just a few minutes, maybe even a few seconds, your impulsive mind is going to speak up. It's going to pop up with a thought, an urge, a reaction. The question is no longer if it will happen, because it will. The real question, the one you now have the power to answer, is what are you going to teach it?